Yes, guys, and a welcome from me. This is Championship Manager 0102, the World King Challenge, Part 19. We smashed out some more sessions yesterday, and it just doesn't get boring. It really don't get boring. No matter what people think, is it not just getting repetitive? Of course not. It's not. There's always, in fact, the longer it goes on, there is a little bit more regret that I didn't add certain leagues. But we continue to smash this to bits. There's been rapid changes as we go into season 22. I can't remember where we were at last time I did a video or a stream or whatever, because so much has happened. I'm going to restore this as a solo game, and it should load up straight on Matt. So instantly you're going to see where Matt's moved to. Drum roll. So cast your mind back that I was at Corinthians. We completed the Brazilian leg. And for Matt concluded the leg in Greece. Well, are you ready? Are you ready, guys? Matt is Barcelona. The job came up, he applied, and he took it. And I think it's the right thing to do. It was an easy decision, to be honest with you. He's made his 7 signings, which start from this guy here, this Igor Solojev. That was his first signing. So his 7 signings with Solojev. He spent some absolute massive amount of money, but he's got the money. And I'm going to show you, after he's done shit, hasn't he? I'm going to show you some of the players that guy's fucking amazing. Now, there was an interesting one, right? Is we looked at what Barcelona had been selling before Matt took over, and they sold some absolute beasts, right? So you just saw Asamoah there for 66 million, Pedrino went for 97 million, and then Luis Warel went for 104 million, and then Matt got the job, so he was a bit gutted, in all fairness. Oh no, sorry, they also sold Rosado. He was a bit gutted, but I don't think that really had any effect on him deciding whether to take it or not. It was an easy decision for Matt, let's be honest. And he started with a ridiculous amount of money, and he's still got a ridiculous amount of money. But it's not been plain sailing for him to start the season. Barcelona had finished pretty poor last season, and I'll show you how poor. They finished 8th. Now somehow 8th still got them a Europa League qualifying campaign, aka into Toto, and he was sensationally torn apart. He won his first leg 3-0, he got thrashed in the second leg 4-0. Not sure what happened there. Don't know whether they just need time to gel with his signings and stuff, but so he's out of Europe, and that's not going to help his world reputation. That's certainly going to be the case. You know, it was quite a surprise. He took over actually for the second leg there. I think, yeah, that's his. He didn't take over. He wasn't in charge there. So he's out of Europe, and I don't think he could hardly believe that. And he's endured a tough start. Last game of the session yesterday, as you can see, the date in the corner is the date of his last game. He lost 3-2. He lost 3-2. What am I talking about? I thought he won. He lost 3-2. He drew 2-2. He's not had the great run. I think Matt's biggest worry is Real Madrid, for obvious reasons. But I think the biggest threat, really, as well as Real Madrid, is equally is Real Betis. Now, let me remind you guys, I started this World King as Real Madrid, and Matt started as Man City, and we both did what we needed to do, and then moved on. And I found it really difficult to succeed in England, and I did it at the 3rd attempt of asking. This is Matt's 3rd attempt of asking in Spain. Of course, he was at Espanyol, and he was at Atletico Madrid. So, you know, it's written in the stars that he's going to do this and conclude the 11th. This would be his 11th leg. The Greek one was his 10th leg. He was easily going to do the Greek one, and I think, you know, it was his to lose. So, no Europe, which is probably going to be a good thing. He can just focus on this. That's what he's focusing on, the leg. Okay? So, before Matt went to Barcelona, so this is to tell you that I haven't gone to where Matt left. Before Matt went to Barcelona, I left Corinthians. Drum roll. A job came up, right, with 5 games to go of last season. And we took it. Now, the shit thing is because it was only like 5-6 games, we couldn't buy any players. We could not buy any players last season because we were past the deadline. So, and I had to take that on board, but I couldn't say no. We are at Olympiacos. The job came up. Olympiacos, we are now in charge of. And what we did do, now we couldn't do this until June before the update. This was a bit sneaky, but I took this with guidance from Mr. Dante on the last stream. We picked up these guys on loan. I was able to go for a player on loan, even though the window was closed. Now, in the early part of, the last part of last season, April, May, they were only like 1 or 2 month loans. In the early part of June, we got these guys on loan until next June. So they were on this side of the calendar, if that makes sense, before the update. So we got in 5 players. Giles is on loan as well, of course. We'll come to England in a minute. So we got 5 players, and then we got our 7 signings in. And we picked up some great players. We've got a bit of money to work with. Resources was there in terms of money. The squad was pretty poor. So our first signing was this guy, and was really happy because they weren't interested in, or he weren't interested in coming to me on loan, even though he was loan listed. So we got him on a deal. We got this guy who was on loan somewhere, and he was out of contract. So we snapped him up as soon as that loan deal finished. Nito was another good player. We picked him up on a Bosman. Rivero, he was actually our last signing at Corinthians, and then he was unhappy, so we snapped him up. Of course we did. Miranda was a fucking monster signing. He really was an absolute monster signing for 60 million, or potentially 60 million. Callum Jackson, we needed a central defender. We still do need defence. Henry Bennett was our last player. So this is where we're at so far. We've had a bit of I say tough time. I fucking hate drawing games, losing points, but we're at the halfway stage. We're at the current winter break. We're halfway through the season, and we're sitting proudly at the top. We had some early victories. We beat the champions. We beat AEK. We beat Iraklis. So where we've slipped up hasn't been against who you'd think. But we are riding high, guys, in Europe, because finishing 5th, we finished in the Intertoto Cup. And we could have landed Matt in the 3rd qualifying round. We could have quite easily landed him, but we didn't. And we advanced through. Now, where was it now? Was it the... No, it wasn't actually. I got that wrong. I think it was one of the Europa League. Right, so we qualified for the Europa League, and we've made our way through. It was... No, I've got that totally wrong, haven't I? I've got no memory, have I? So we've just been knocked out. We've just been knocked out of the Europa League. So we're not riding high. Scrap that. I'm talking out my arse. We're out of the Europa League, which it is disappointing in the sense of what that Matt's been knocked out of Europe on the reputation. Now, the reputation, obviously, is really, really crucial. With that in mind, that is me in Greece. For Matt, that is Matt in Spain. But more importantly, overall, Matt is superb and I am world class. Now, obviously, that is helped by me being the England manager. And we've done a great job with England. We've got a really good setup. And that is how we're going into the World Cup. Our friendly against Italy in late October got postponed because Italy had a playoff game. But we are looking good. We're going to the World Cup, guys. And we have got a really, really good setup over at England. We really have. But it's all about the next leg. Matt wants that Spanish leg and I want the Greek leg. Now the question is, right, is what's going to happen? What's going to happen after this leg? Now, the only thing left for me after Greece is Australia. Now, of course, let me remind you, I've been to Australia and we lost in the last game of the season. It is what it is, you know. It's going to be very difficult to get a job offer exactly in Australia, somebody with some sort of resources. It's going to be very, very difficult. For Matt, if he can tick off Spain this season, he's still got to do Australia, Belgium and Argentina. So, we both still need to do Australia. So, for me, I need to tick off Greece. That is the fact. I am now looking, if there's nothing Australia, provided I tick off Greece, the next objective is going to be to do Australia. But I've got to accept it's going to take me possibly several seasons to get that. So my next objective is going to be to get a monster team. And that can be anybody. That can be Milan, that can be Inter, that can be maybe even Man City, Arsenal, maybe even Real Madrid, Barcelona, Dortmund, Bayern Munich, anybody. And then I will plant some roots until the right Australia job comes up. That is the plan, is to plant some roots until the Australia job comes up. Provided it's the correct Australia job, we're then going to go to Australia, hopefully conclude, hopefully, and then we're going to plant some more roots somewhere else. Who knows, guys? Who knows? As the World King, I'm not going to say nears the end, because it's not near in the end at all. It's just getting exciting. It really is getting exciting. And that's it from me, guys. I'm the World King. Till next time, take it easy.